Welcome back, Shalligators. Today, we are talking about Adele. Every return, Adele is in the news because she's coming out with her long-anticipated, I think, 6th album or some such. And she's talking a lot about her divorce, basically for the first time. I mean, she's talking about losing weight. She's talking about dating Rich Paul, who I definitely thought was like Rand Paul. Not the same person. Or Ron Paul? Not him either. Anyway, what I'm taking away from everything that Adele is saying is just how broken she was after her divorce. Yeah, her divorce from this dude. She was upset about not being with that dude anymore. Adele was, but I digress. So we're going to talk today about what to do when your forever isn't. Maybe you're getting divorced. Maybe it's just a long-term relationship. Maybe it isn't even a long-term relationship. And maybe it's someone you really thought, oh my God, I've met my soulmate. And then things just go up in smoke. I've been there a lot of times. And I'm actually going to give you some advice that's a little bit controversial. It's not the advice you think you're going to hear from me. It's not something we've ever really talked about before. But when I look back on how I got over the most devastating breakups of my life and my divorce, it's by doing this. And weirdly, it worked. It's kind of going to blow your mind, but you got to bear with me because I've got scientific reasons behind it. But anyway, before we get started, what am I wearing? Oh my God, what am I wearing? We got a new drop from my clothing collection, Slxo. We've got 2 brand new looks. This is the first one, rich and sad. And you guys are like, what if I'm just sad and not rich? Honey, you manifested the sadness. It's time to manifest the money. Rich is a state of mind and rich is a crew neck before it is a bank balance. So it's a champion hoodie. It also comes in a hoodie. This is a crew neck. It comes in a hoodie, a crew neck, and a bag, a cool canvas tote bag, because I love those. And yeah, it's champion, so it's super thick. This is a size XL. I like a really big fit, kind of a boyfriendy fit. Ugh, as if I date anyone fucking cool enough to wear this shit, please. And then the other look we have is called Evil is More Fun. This comes in a full-length hoodie in white and also a crop in like a peach and also a gray plus a tote bag as well. But the Evil style is more lightweight. These are heavier, so you can click the link down there in the bio and shop. And bonus, if you spend over $100, you get a custom video from me to you. And I just love to connect with you guys and I love to say thank you. And also, what have we got going on in the background? We're mixing it up. We're mixing it up, girl. We're mixing it up. I have partnered with a gallery, the MrShe Gallery in Israel. They sell some amazing, amazing art. And this is the kind of art I had in my house for a really long time in New York City. And I've just been missing, not missing New York because it's an absolute garbage fire right now, but I've been missing that time in my life and like the electricity of the city and the vibe of the city. And I'm just like, you know, I live in Montana, but I also work from home, and I know a lot of you guys do too, and even if you don't, like, our space is so important to set the tone for our feelings and our emotions, and I'm very art-based. Like, the art I have in my house, it's not just a hodgepodge. My walls are very clean except for things that I love, and I love this art. Take a good old look. I love this. We're going to be rolling out some new styles. I've got a bunch to show you guys. But if you want to shop, it's really affordable and like a lot of not custom, but like authentic art. I mean, this is a painting. This isn't a print. This is a real thing. A lot of it's just prohibitively, ridiculously expensive, and this isn't. So you can click the link right down there in the bio. Shop the pieces. They're so cool. They come small, large, but really beautiful, vibrant colors. And, you know, winter's coming, and I'm like, you know what? We need a little vibrancy around here. So check that out. So let's talk Adele. Okay. So she was talking to Oprah. And do you not love Adele? Because she's like, hello. She's like so elegant. She sings in this voice. And then she talks, she's like, and I got divorced, governor. Like she's got this like wild accent. I'm like, it's not what I expected. And I just love her glow up. We talked about her last year when she lost weight and how the body positivity movement was like, she's a traitor because she's losing weight. She's a traitor because she's doing whatever she wants with her own body and deciding what she feels good at. Does someone need to stay fat to make you feel better about being fat? Oh, actually, yes, that's actually the right answer. And even Adele herself said she was really fucking disappointed, her words, really fucking disappointed about how her fans, like, you know, chirped her for like losing weight and getting fit. And she's said in some recent interviews that like getting addicted to the gym was kind of the thing that pulled her out of this absolute divorce spiral. So she divorced this dude, Simon Konecki. And they've got a son, Angelo. I mean, it's okay. This dude, can you not smell him from here? And she was in a hole like you would not believe. Here's some things she said. The process of not seeing your child every single day wasn't really the plan that I had when I became a mom. And see, this is why I'm like not good to give people like her advice, because I'm like, that's great. Half the time you have to spend being a mom. It sounds really difficult and sucky. Now you can go be yourself. But they don't want to hear that. So yeah. The process of arriving for yourself every single day, the process of turning up for yourself every single day, running a home, running a business. So many people will know what I'm talking about. And I juggle those things as well. And I just sometimes feel like not doing it anymore. And also trying to move forward, but with intention, not just trying to get out of it for no reason. It made my feet hurt walking through all that concrete. She was talking about how someday this is Cowboy. Thanks for putting your fanny in the video. Mm-hmm. She was talking about the huge depression that she felt getting divorced, again, from this guy. Okay. And how she also described the divorce as exhausting but long overdue. Man. Don't we know what that's like? So much of the time, and I don't know if you've been married. I have, and actually my anniversary is today. My wedding anniversary is today. And I know so many of you guys want to see pictures. I honestly don't have that many. I'll ask the photographer because it was such a beautiful wedding. Yeah, it was tough. Anyway, so I've been there. Adele girl, I'm with you. My husband was hotter. I'm just saying my husband was a lot hotter. I'm just putting out that he was hotter. Anyway, he was empirically just very hot. But we know that once a long-term relationship ends, it's been bad for a while. But like I said, maybe you're grieving something that wasn't long-term. Maybe it was just getting started. Have you heard this Rascal Flatts song called Forever? It's really good. It's like the chorus is like, it wasn't long enough together, but it was long enough to last forever. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. Because there's nothing worse than you break up with someone or something ends, and the first thing people ask you when you're in mourning is like, well, how long were you together? And don't you feel so, ashamed when you're like, well, a couple months. And it's like, maybe it was a couple weeks, maybe it was a couple days. But like the heart doesn't think in those kind of quantifications. The heart doesn't parcel things out in time. It's a feeling, and it's like a light switch. It's either on or it's off, and it can go on after a week, or you can be in a relationship with someone for a year and it's still not on, or it can go off halfway through your 3-year relationship, and by the time you're done and it ends, brother, you are done and you're ready to go get dicked down by a hot black guy, which is exactly what Adele is doing. Aces, girl. And she's really happy about this relationship. She says it's effortless and easy and wonderful. I'm like, yes, they should be effortless and easy. Like when we're feeling that anxiety, that means it's not right. But that's a whole separate video. We're going to talk about, what the fuck do you do? What do you do when this forever, isn't? Is there anything worse than feeling like you found someone and it's just gone? It's just gone. And maybe you tried, maybe you didn't, maybe you tried, maybe he didn't. There's a million ways to be miserable. The opening line of the book Anna Karenina is, every happy family is the same, and every unhappy family is unhappy in their own way. And that's so true about sadness and heartbreak. It's like every happy couple is the same, but every unhappy couple is unhappy in their own way. Every breakup is unique in its own way and so painful. So when I think back on my most awful heartbreaks, my divorce obviously was one of them, but it was different. It was different. Truly one of the worst ones was in like 2008. And it was this guy, he was in this band, like the band if I said it. He was a bass player. He was in like an emo band. And like, we were soulmates. I'd never met someone with that sense of humor, with that chemistry, with that intelligence. I mean, we just crackled together. And he left me for a fucking stripper in Tampa who is such a trash bag, she lost custody of her daughter. Okay? Fucking trash bag. Devastated was not the term. I spiraled into a clinical depression, you know? I had an eating disorder. I was working out 2 or 3 times a day. I dropped a ton of weight and I was like cutting myself. I was just miserable. I mean, it was the height of the emo days, you know, so it was like everyone was. But I could not fathom that God brought this person to me and it didn't work out. Like, it just felt like a sick joke. Like, what the fuck was this? What was this? The thing, the person, the circumstance, all of it that I've been praying for like my whole life. And it's here and now it's gone? Why? You know, and we say, I don't lose, I win or I learn. I didn't know what to fucking learn. I wasn't desperate to be with someone, but I'm like, this person is my soulmate. They just are. Like, they just are. And I had no way out of it. I had no foothold of like, oh, actually, he was kind of shitty. And oh, actually, he's an emotional getaway car. I genuinely didn't feel that way. I was like, no, this is the person I was put on this earth to be with. And I didn't know what to do. So you know what I finally did? After like 6 months of just, I mean, misery, like day one type misery, not like, oh, it's getting better. Day one misery. I just said, I threw up my hands and said, okay, all right. I give up. I am going to love Matt forever. Forever. I will love him until God takes me from this earth. I give up. I'm not trying to talk myself out of it. I'm not trying to pretend that I didn't feel that. I'm not trying to pretend that we didn't have what we had, because I know we had it. It's like that Taylor Swift song, All Too Well. Like, I know it's back out, but it's like, I was there. That line just gets me. It's like, I was there. I was there. I know what we had. I know what we had. And I'm tired of telling myself I'm crazy for thinking that that's what that was. So I said, okay. All right, I'm just going to lean in. I'm going to lean in and I'm going to love him for the rest of my life. And you know what happened? The smoke cleared. That is when I started to get over it. Wait, what? Why? I'll tell you why. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. That means what we want to be happening and what is actually happening are worlds apart. I hate this fucking job and I have to work double time this week. My parents are driving me crazy and I can't afford to move out, right? It's misery. Like, misery is traced back to cognitive dissonance. And your mind, your psyche, desperately wants a way out of that. I mean, it wants a life raft so bad. And so just capitulating to these feelings is that life raft. Now, ideally, the better way out of cognitive dissonance is not to say, okay, fine, I just love him forever. It's, I don't actually want him. You know, like, that's what we have trained ourselves to do. That's what we talk about on the channel. Here's why you don't actually want him. He's the emotional getaway car. He's a psychological splinter. He's a hurt locker. He represents something. He's who you want to be, not who you want to date. But sometimes, like, you just can't get there. You cannot get that concept through your head. And the more you try, the worse you feel. Because then you're like, I'm embarrassed. I'm in pain, but I'm also humiliated because I genuinely believe that I'm supposed to be with this person, but clearly I'm not, because you know what is a pretty good hallmark of someone being your soulmate? They actually want to be with you. And he doesn't. So I'm a fucking clown. I'm a clown. And here we are, just at the circus, right? You feel worse. There's nothing more painful than being heartbroken and also being made to feel stupid about it. Well, you guys weren't even really together. So, I mean, you had like 3 dates. Like, I am aware of that. Okay, I'm aware of that. Like, my heart doesn't know that. My brain knows it. So thank you for making me feel dumb on top of miserable. You should work on a suicide hotline. Thank you, Kylie. But when you can tell yourself, the opposite. If I don't want him isn't working, it's I do want him, I can't have him, that's okay. That's okay. I've accepted this. Your brain is like, oh, really? Okay, good. All right, good. So we're just gonna love him forever. Yeah, we're gonna love him forever. Okay. Why does this work? Why does this work? I think it's something about lowered expectations. I don't mean settling. I do not mean settling. I mean redefining what other people are going to mean in your life. Because I accepted I'm going to love Matt forever. He's my soulmate. No one else is ever going to measure up. Then when I was meeting people, it's almost like how you have a lot of game when you're in a relationship because like you don't fucking care. You got someone to go home to. I didn't care about people I was meeting. I had my sadness to go home to. I had the memory of him that I was keeping alive in my mind. So I'd meet people like, oh yeah, you do that. Oh, that's cool. You're a lawyer, a hedge fund. Ha ha ha. That's cool. I gotta go. Suddenly I was easy breezy. Suddenly I was unbothered. I wasn't playing hard to get. I was hard to get because I had accepted I was actively in love with someone else. It was a dead end. It was this sort of like great Brontean tragedy, right? But I had just accepted it. And there was almost this beautiful moroseness about it that I just kind of collapsed into, I guess we could say a victimhood. I guess we could say it. But also just accepting like, this is it, you know? No one else is going to measure up. I'm not even looking for that. I'm not even looking for that. But then, I was giving people chances. All right, no expectations. I had a very dim view of love. I didn't really think things were going to work out. And quite frankly, I didn't give a shit if they did. I was sad. And like, that's what I was kind of giving my energy to. But your mind doesn't want to be sad. And when you give it this sort of life after, fine, we're going to love him forever. Your brain is pacified, but it's not like thriving. It's surviving. It's not thriving, right? You do have needs that aren't being met. And so I looked at these new people coming in. I looked at situations and I'm like, I guess I could go out with him. Like, who cares? It doesn't hurt, you know? I'm not trying to replace Matt. He's my soulmate. He's like my ghost husband who's I'm just going to love forever. That's fine. But slowly, and it did happen slowly because I was getting to know people slowly. You know why? I wasn't desperate for anything. I had accepted, I was in this ghost relationship kind of with my own sadness and with like the specter of him. And so I was getting to know people really slowly. I wasn't doing what I had previously done after breakups, which is like, anyone, take me away from this feeling, pave over the wallpaper effect, right? Just get me out of this. I had just leaned in. I'm going to be sad for a long time. I'm going to be sad for a year, 5 years, 10 years. Okay, whatever. So now I was getting to know people in a very organic way. I didn't need anything from them. There was nothing they could possibly do for me. That's how I felt. There's nothing you could be that is ever going to measure up to him. But then you meet people and it's like, but Matt was so funny. Well, wait a minute. This guy's pretty funny. Huh. And Matt was hot. Well, I mean, he was 5'3". Yes, he was 5'3". I'm only 5'4.5". I'm not exactly a giant. And I had to bend down to kiss him flat-footed. And he cheated on me. On me? And he would say, I always have to fuck the hottest girl in the room to prove that I can because I'm short. Like, he had that self-awareness, but he couldn't just, like, take it a step further and just not do that. You can just not do that. No. So I'm like, okay, well, Matt had a really good body. Like a fucking child. But this guy has a good body, too, and he's funny. Okay. But Matt was so creative. He was in a band. Oh, well, he knows a lot about like art and interesting. So in a way, I was comparing, but not priorly when I had broken up with someone, I was comparing out of like desperation. Matt was creative and funny, so I need someone creative and funny, and I need it, you know, and it was kind of, it's more about intention. Desperation is the strongest smell in the universe. We know this, right? And people can tell that. It just wafts off you like body odor. But when you go into situations not expecting anything, not needing them, enjoying their company, but like, hey, you know, I don't really think you're going to complete me. You know who you become? Fucking Rihanna. That's who you become. You actually become the baddest bitch of all. You took the long way around. You took the sad route. It's better to take the confident route. You know, I don't need that short cheater with a nose ring. What kind of man has a nose ring? I don't need him. So it's okay if you take a circuitous route and kind of end up at the same place. Now, look, we will say a caveat. We don't want to dive too far into sadness because obviously, there is a tipping point. Clinical depression, cutting yourself, eating disorders. But those actually came before I just gave in because those were born of that cognitive dissonance and that anxiety. Once I leaned in, my mind didn't feel so tense and so lost. It wasn't this constant argument of I feel this way, but I'm ashamed of feeling this way. It's I feel this way and I feel this way and I feel this way. And maybe I'm a big giant cloud of shame. I should be ashamed. I'm so ashamed. Whatever, man. This is just how I feel. And I'm going to stop beating myself up for feeling this way. And this is just how I feel. Okay. So yeah, the last thing you want to do is become like the professional victim. I avoided that because I just accepted this sadness as just like another scar. I have a scar on my knee. I have a scar on my elbow. I have a scar on my arm. I have a scar on my heart. It's just kind of part of you. It's like, well, I don't need to talk about it all the time because it's here all the time. And it's just like, it's just part of me. I have blonde hair. I have green eyes. I am heartbroken over Matt. You know, it took the specialness away from it. It's something that's just here. It's just here. And I deal with it the way I deal with being left-handed and never being able to find scissors that work. You know, it doesn't make me special. But again, I've talked about how I just don't really veer towards the victim at all because I'm a narcissist and we kind of veer towards champion. But I digress. So you know what ended up happening? You know, sometimes you get a cold or the flu and after like 3 days in bed, you're like, I cannot just lay here anymore. You're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you're like, I'm just going to zombie out the door, go to the grocery store. I'm going to feel shitty, but I'm going to come home, get back into bed. But I'm at least trying. I've just decided to move on from this. That's how sadness goes sometimes. You just kind of burn yourself out. You're just like, ugh, I'm just sick of my own thoughts. I'm tired of chewing on this. And do I organically feel like I don't care anymore? No, but I'm just tired of being in this place. So we're just moving forward. And ironically, almost basically a month after I got to that point where I'm just like, ugh, we're done. Guess who came back? Yeah. Why do guys come back exactly when you're over them? Do you know why? I have like a scientific reason. This is my own calibrations. But when a guy dumps a girl, we've talked about this, he's on this high. Oh, I'm dating this really cool slut. And like, oh, she's got these crazy fake boobs. No, she kind of bites. She cut the crotches out of all my pants. Oh my God, I miss Shallon. She's so sane and so cool. Girls do the opposite. Oh my God, he's with this slut. She's got this perfect boobs, but she seems kind of crazy. And oh my God, she looks like she bites. She cut the crotches out of his pants. Yikes. I don't want a man who's into that. Same time, different points, right? Oh, and his ass came back. I made a mistake. I love you. You're my wife. You're my soulmate. Everything that I had been wanting to hear for like a year, he was saying. And I was like cautiously, incandescently happy. I really was. And then he was going on tour. It's his last tour with this band. Like, maybe we thought his last tour ever. And I'm like, you know what? We're not official boyfriend, girlfriend yet. Bone whoever you want. You want to bone a bunch of groupies? Just whatever, dude. Like, use a condom. Like, to have your weird last hurrah if that's what you need to do. Shallon, no. I do not want to do that. I have fucked a lot of groupies in my life. I am good on that front. I'm telling you, dude, like, don't make that promise to me if you can't keep it. No. One of my good friends was the photographer on the tour, and he knew we were friends. Not only did he cheat on me, he brought a groupie with him for most of the tour. So it wasn't even just like some random hoe sitting on his face. Nope. Intentional. You know, I don't even think I cried. I was just like, okay. 5-3. Got it. And, you know, I'll never look back and view that as anything but a tragedy. I won't. I really do think so much of us was like fated to be together. But he kept putting his dick in other people. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, my soulmate actually doesn't do this. It doesn't really happen that way. But because I had leaned into it and I demystified, I demythologized him during that grieving period, when he came back, I was looking at him kind of through clear eyes. Oh, you're funny. I met some funny guys. You're hot? Yeah, I met a few hot dudes in the last year. That's interesting. Oh, you chronically have to cheat on me. Actually, that's not normal. I'm good. Take out the nose ring. And because of that, I was able to move on from it so much faster. But if I had stayed in that state of like, I'm not supposed to love him. I'm not supposed to love him. He would have come back and it would have been like Hailey and Justin. Like, I don't care what happens. I'm riding this till the wheels fall off. I'm never leaving this person because I'm obsessed with them. They're not a person. They're a myth. They're a legend in my mind. So try this. If you are just going around and around and you can't get over it, try to not get over it. See if that helps. Be sure to keep the other aspects of your life going though. That is the key. Go keep meeting people. Keep going out with your friends, keep working out, keep doing things. And just, it was almost like I had this like weighted blanket of emotion on me at all time. You can walk around with a weighted blanket around your shoulders. Is it fun? No, you'd rather not have it, but you're not like incapacitated. So kind of think of it like that. Keep going, keep moving forward, and there will come a time when you're ready to shrug it off. I want to know your heartbreak stories. I want to know if you're happy for Adele, if you're really looking forward to her new album. I am, I guess. She's chill. I've just never been like an Adele super fan, except for Skyfall. Skyfall was actually our song at our wedding. Yeah. I am going to go be morose myself. Bunch of leftover Halloween candy just looking me in the face. Anyway, I'll see you later, Shalligators. We'll be back next time. And like I said, shop this really cool art and a whole bunch of other really amazing designs right down there at the link in the bio. Ditto with Rich and Sad and Evil is More Fun, the new drop from SLXO. I'll see you later, Shalligators.